Why is bro staring at me like that? I don't feel safe. Stay within the lines, stay within the lines, stay within the lines.
Oh my gosh, this is so cute. I made it too cute.
It's the wrong color. I want my tablet.
Hello, beautiful people. Long story short, I haven't drawn anything traditionally in years. So, I picked up a gifted sketchbook I had and all the art supplies I could find in my parents' cellar. Hopefully, I won't publicly humiliate myself today. Since I wanted to try some of the old pencils and markers I found, I had to pick something very colorful to draw. Naturally, I thought about Pokemon. I didn't have a plan at first, so I simply picked the OG trio: Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. I was never able to watch the Pokemon series as a kid, nor play the games, because they were always the most expensive ones in the game store. Despite all that, I've always been drawn to these cute and epic creatures. As I was making this video, I quickly looked through the Pokédex just to see which Pokemon I would like the most, and, well, let's just say that I ended up with a list with 20 plus names on it. But what can I say? I'm quite the indecisive person. Plus, some of the designs are too freaking cool. How can a person even choose a favorite one? Anyways, I'm sketching with the coloring pencils I found, which might not have been the smartest decision since they are very hard to erase. Actually, I take it back. They are impossible to erase. I was decently satisfied with how this Charmander was turning out until I realized that the proportions were a bit off. I didn't think it was that big of a deal at first. I hadn't drawn anything for a few days at that point, and I probably just needed a warm-up. Boy, I was wrong. But I'll explain more of that later, since I'm going to keep having the same problem throughout the whole video. Once I was done with the base colors, I decided to add some line art with a ballpoint pen. That made a huge difference, so I ended up repeating the same process for all the other drawings you're going to see. This Charmander is looking like a big chonker, I'm not gonna lie. But it's kinda cute in a way. Although, I don't like that stare. It's piercing through my soul. I don't feel very safe. Anyways, once I was done with the line art, I wanted to try to add some shadows and highlights. Humongous mistake, as I didn't wait for the ink from the pen to dry up. I didn't think the face could look scarier. Well, I was wrong. I also added a shadow to indicate the floor, but I kinda end up regretting that decision later on as well. After this epic fail, I moved on to draw Bulbasaur. I really love how cute this one turned out. After learning from my mistakes, ultimately I decided to not add any shadows or highlights, at least not on Bulbasaur and Squirtle. I don't know how to explain it, or if it makes any sense, but I find that drawing traditionally is far more relaxing for me compared to drawing digitally. I believe it could have to do with perfectionism, as the ability to easily correct any mistake while drawing digitally makes me want to strive for perfection. I'm not saying I'm right for thinking this way, by the way. It could very much be a toxic mentality of mine. I don't know. I have no idea. This is just a theory. I think there is beauty in some artistic mistakes, especially when done traditionally. So yeah. Well, they could be nice when done digitally as well, I guess. I don't know what to think. Either way, it's relaxing. That's all I'm gonna say. And it's obviously also just a personal preference. At this point, I had an idea in mind of what I wanted to do with the rest of the space that was available on the page. So, I had to squeeze the poor Squirtle in the back. To be fair, it actually makes the trio look more cohesive. Oh yeah, by the way,
You're also going to see something really funny here in a moment. I don't know why, but I legit had a brain fart while trying to figure out how to draw Squirtle's tail. You can tell when it happened, because I had to pause for more than a few seconds to figure it out. I don't know, I guess I was just tired. I hope, at least. I want to formally apologize for the light quality for this part of the video. I promise it's better towards the end. I really gotta invest in some good lights or something, especially because the room I'm in is the darkest one of the entire apartment. There's pretty much no sunlight coming in directly at any point during the day. Nothing. Zero. I'm pretty much a vampire at this point. By this point of the video, I realized that the issue I was having with proportions had to do with the fact that I was viewing the sketchbook from the wrong angle. As a digital artist, I either look straight ahead when I work on something on my PC, or at a slightly inclined angle when working on my iPad. I couldn't do neither of those things in this instance, so my sketchbook was just laying flat on my desk, making it quite challenging to get the proportions right. At least for me, because I'm not used to that. I'm a little newbie. To fill up the page, I decided to draw my OC Lilith and make her look like she belonged to the Pokemon world. Lilith is actually a character I created when I first played Baldur's Gate 3, and I've been expanding her story ever since. She's a warlock drow who loves collecting powerful artifacts and weird creatures during her exploration of different worlds and dimensions. At the end of the first playthrough I had with her, she ends up taking control of everyone, including her friends, through the Elder Brain. After that, she could pretty much go anywhere to acquire as much power and as many creatures as possible. Since then, I tried to create her character whenever I would play any game, really, to continue her storyline in another plane of existence, so to speak. So in the end, her being in the Pokemon world actually makes sense, and I think she would enjoy it a lot, considering that she loves collecting creatures. I wanted to draw a main Pokemon that would always be with her outside of the Pokeball, just like Pikachu with Ash. As I was scrolling through the Pokédex, Darkrai instantly caught my attention, and after reading about its powers, I just knew it was perfect for Lilith. So that's what I'm drawing here. I think they look super awesome together. And now I kinda want to make a proper digital illustration out of this. I decided to not color Lilith in, as I thought it would make her stand out more. I actually like the contrast that it created. Also, I ultimately added some shadows on Darkrai with the ballpoint pen, and I love how that turned out. It's probably my favorite thing of the whole page, alongside that cute Bulbasaur, of course. As I was progressing through the drawing, I started brainstorming to find an idea of what I could draw to fill up the last space left on the page. Ultimately, I decided to add 2 more Pokemon that I thought would be a good fit for Lilith's team. So firstly, I sketched out Umbreon, which really fits her vibe. However, I don't really like how it kinda blends in with Darkrai, as they have similar colors. Also, I totally forgot to add a little highlight in Umbreon's eyes, and now I'm sad. lastly, I added Spectrier, which kinda still fits Lilia's vibe, but I mainly just added it because I fell in love with that design as soon as I saw it. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to me, but I messed up the colors for Spectrier. You see, this wouldn't have been a problem if I was drawing digitally. I guess I got too comfortable and forgot that I couldn't change the colors later on. So yeah, just pretend you're not seeing this Spectrier. It's not real, it doesn't exist on this page. It's only an illusion, it cannot hurt you. Once I was done, I tried some of the old Ohuhu markers I had from 2018, I believe, maybe 2019. Most of them didn't have any juice left, including the ones you're seeing me using right now. I had to put an extra piece of paper under the page I was working on because the markers do bleed through, but I was already expecting it since this sketchbook is not made to hold markers or watercolors. The paper is still good, by the way, but just not for markers. I remember hating on one of my old sketchbooks because anything you would put on its paper would always smudge. That was absolutely horrendous. So I'm actually quite happy with this particular one I'm using. And if you're wondering what's called, I have no idea. It's not written anywhere and it was gifted to me years ago. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy this dive into traditional art again. I'll keep on sketching more casually here and there, I suppose. It was pretty fun. Humbling, but fun. Also, apparently, I can't see very well anymore as I was struggling with the small details. But it could have also been just bad light. Yeah, okay, I'll blame it on the light. Let's just blame it on the light, it's fine. My eyes are fine. Totally. Anyways, thank you for watching. Stay safe and peace!